1. You hear a man and a woman talking about a wildlife documentary.
Did you see that wildlife documentary on TV last night?
The one about Indonesia?
That's the one. I love that they managed to feature so many animals, although I guess that's normal for a 1-hour programme. My favourite was definitely the Javan leopard. If I'd seen that big cat in the wild, I would have been scared to death. The camera operator must have been very brave. Indonesia's a fascinating country. I would never have imagined so many different types of animals living there, including quite a number of endangered ones.
2. You hear a boy and his sister talking about a safari trip they went on.
Do you remember our holiday to South Africa last December?
Of course. One of the highlights was definitely when we went on safari. We got to see lions eating an antelope they had caught, which was a bit sad, although I guess it's just nature's way and you can't avoid it. Do you remember? We set out at dawn, and although it was summer, it was quite cold and misty at that time, but that was my favourite part. Despite the lack of sunlight, we wouldn't have been able to see so many interesting species of animals if we'd started any later in the day.
3. You hear part of a lecture on animal conservation.
I want to talk about how we can avoid harming the endangered species that live in our oceans, seas and rivers. Endangered because of our actions. If we hadn't thrown so much rubbish away, they wouldn't face such a crisis. While it's important to fund conservation groups, most of which are charities, we should look at how many single-use products, usually made of plastic, we use. Some argue that the government should ban these, but right now, I think realistically the best thing we can do as individuals is to limit our usage of these. For example, why not stop buying bottled water? This would make a real difference.